Bitcoin bulldozing its way just above 30,000 bucks in the overnight hours and now giving up some of those gains. What does it essentially mean for today? A couple more setups as we do go over and follow up on, I believe this setup was from last week, a new one specifically for today as well. And other than that, I want to welcome you back to the Krown Crypto channel. It is a nice little Wednesday. It's sunny outside, so it feels like summer kind of. And there's actually plenty to discuss as Bitcoin has one of the biggest moves not seen for, the last few weeks, really. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. Let's waste no more time. Let's get right in over here and start off with, of course, the short term as Bitcoin does come off those $30,000 highs. We can see that Bitcoin kind of playing around that white moving average on the 4-hour time frame. That's going to be the 4-hour 200 moving average in this case. And yes, short term, Bitcoin probably does, continue on with a little bit more of this pullback. But where this pullback comes to is incredibly important, or, theoretically where it comes to is incredibly important. Why is that? Because as we always get to play the game, especially within the context of the last couple months here, is this just another failed attempt, in this case to the upside rather than the downside? And as of right now, so far, so good. What would essentially be the governing marker as to where Bitcoin starts to fall apart yet again, or just this rally is, quote unquote, not real, meaning I wouldn't be expecting any like humongously major continuation and probably back down to the bottoms of the range. Well, that would once again be below 29,550 on a 12-hour closure in this case. I also put a Fibonacci retracement just to see where the major numbers are coming in around. And what do you know, the 50% retracement coming in just below that 29,550-ish number. So technically speaking, want to see Bitcoin close below that on a 12-hour time frame. If that happens, then that would imply that this current rally is just another failed attempt. If that does not happen, then, well, pressure onto the upside yet again, as we'll kind of discuss a little bit later on within this particular video. Other than that, I'm not seeing any divergences going on right here, at least on the lower time frames, 4-hour, 6-hour, all kind of playing in, all kind of essentially playing in range. Actually, in fact, the 6-hour time frame also getting rejected by the 200 moving average right there. But now we can go over to the HPDR ranges, and in this case, we can see yet again that 12-hour average range is coming in 29.5, actually 29.530. So pretty much aligning with that 50% retracement. So again, I do look at that similar into the same vein as yesterday. It's like that was the early indication of a nice breakout. We saw, a nice move to the upside, definitely. However, if Bitcoin does fail back below it, that implies that the breakout is about to break down and probably play back down to the bottom of the range. But until then, pressure probabilities do favor the boo laws in this case, and we can go through stochastic momentum really quick over here. Start off with the daily, or actually let's go to the 5-day. I think the 5-day just closed. Yeah, the 5-day just closed last night, and the 5-day, surprisingly enough, will actually turn back to the upside if Bitcoin can close above 30,000 bucks on this next period, which is not for another, 4.5 days essentially. So, it's going to be some time, but you can see that pivot point has actually massively shifted down. So just yesterday, it was somewhere around 31,000 bucks, now at 30,000 bucks, kind of within striking distance of current price action. I mean, obviously Bitcoin was above that level today. So, you can see that, Bitcoin starts to move back above there. You're going to have pretty much all time frames kind of operating on the same side. 2-day time frame, as we went over yesterday, is already to the upside. That one's going to be closing tomorrow night, as it already closed last night, and going to be remaining with upside momentum as long as Bitcoin's above 28,900. Daily time frame is also going to be showing upside momentum as long as Bitcoin's above 29,000 bucks even. 12-hour time frame is also going to be showing upside as long as Bitcoin's above 29,150. We also identified a nice little regression trend line coming in from these last few lows from middle of July to where we're at right now, and so far so good. 6-hour time frame is also it's going to be turning down. So now we're going to see a bit of bifurcation here. So 6-hour time frame going to be showing downward momentum as long as Bitcoin's below 30,000 bucks even, essentially on this next period. 4-hour time frame is going to be showing also downside, I believe. If we can load it, yes, indeed we can. Below 30,100, and hourly time frame is going to probably also be showing downside. Indeed, it is below 30,000 bucks. So we can see all of the lower term time frames are essentially on the same side there, in contrast to the higher term time frame. So what does that essentially mean? It essentially means that if you are bullish, what you're looking for today to kind of be a corrective day, most likely, and for the boo law's sake, to hold 29.5. Should I just round down to 29,500? make it nice and easy instead because it's technically not 29,550 again on a 12-hour closing basis. Bitcoin can essentially trade sideways, even a little bit further down without violating that particular pivot. Then, well, probably going to favor the boo laws yet again, as we're going to see, a nice reset of all of the short-term time frame momentum oscillators, and then the dailies and above start to take over yet again. So if that does happen, that would be good for continuation, probably well into the $30,000 in the coming weeks. And again, we do have a big catalyst tomorrow, CPI going to be coming out, I do believe. So that is very likely to move the markets. Is it going to be a positive catalyst or a negative catalyst? Well, I have absolutely no way to know because I don't know. My crystal ball is apparently broken right now. And I don't believe that anyone, I always love when people like pontificate on CPI is going to come in hot, so I'm bearish, or vice versa for bullish. Just like, it's equally as silly. It's just, you don't fucking know. Like, no one knows these numbers until they actually come out. In fact, even fucking Jay Powell, I believe, doesn't even know until like the day before, the night before, something like that. Anyways, yeah. So again, sideways above 29,550 favors the boo laws, or 29,500, I should say. Below 29,500. Going to start to look a lot like this was just another failed attempt before Bitcoin does make another attempt to the downside, probably back down around the lows of this week, actually. Anyways, moving on now, I want to first follow up on the 12-hour setup that we looked at earlier this week, or we identified it, I believe it was last week. Was it last week? I think it was last week, actually. Yeah, anyways, in this case, 12-hour time frame, very, very simplistic one right here. 12-hour jewel getting below the 35 marker alongside PMARP being below 40 percentile has led to the statistics over the past 47 closed trades, just over 68% strike rate on these ones. And if we actually go through the performance summary, it is starting to really align with that time frame. So we went through this over the past couple of days. We identified that the average amount of bars in the winning trades was 21. So 21 on a 12-hour time frame is what? That is about 10 and a half days. Now, this particular setup did fire off when? It fired off on the 27th of July. We are now on the 9th of August, and that is day 12 and a half. So it is starting to get further and further away from that average amount of time in the winning trades that you would expect. But here's the thing. The average amount of bars in losing trades is 38. So how many days is that? About 19. Well, it's literally 19. So the closer that we get towards that time, about 1 week from today, the more and more likely this is going to be a failure, which would imply that if Bitcoin essentially fails to continue to the upside, within these next few days here, especially, that's going to be a big warning signal. Again, the average winning trade was about 10%. Average losing trade, actually, a little bit less than that, about 9%. So we are dealing with big numbers here. In this case, I would define this as a loser anywhere below 28,800 yet again. This particular setup did fire off at 29,200 or so. So far, we have seen what we have seen from that to current high of rally, 3.5% move. To put it into context, what would 10% look like? 10% would put Bitcoin basically on slightly new highs, somewhere around $32,000 actually. And that would be implied probably within this next week. Does seem like a bit of a stretch right here. Not going to sugarcoat it, to be fair, to be just 100% direct with you. But again, as long as Bitcoin's above 29,500, I would give the nod to the boo laws here. I'd be favoring them. Also, a completely new setup, something that I've not gone over once because I'm just going over today for the first time because I think it just fired off for the first time, is another similar setup. This is going to be another Jewelite based setup getting below 34 in this case. No, 35. Yes, 35. Alongside PMARP being below 55 percentile has led to these setups and statistics over time over the past 26 total closed trades, which actually encompasses the full history of Bitcoin, by the way. This is a 2-day time frame. There has been a just over 73% strike rate for a nice upside movement. And this one just fired off, as you can see right here, as of actually last night's closure. So not bad. Anyways, going into the, oh, fuck, you can't even see it. Sorry, I apologize. I am a moron. And why can't I raise this up? This is maddening. Did TradingView change this around? TradingView, how dare you? No, that doesn't change it. Okay, that kind of changes it. Okay, you can kind of see a little bit of it, I guess. That's fucking annoying, man. Well, I guess I can just maximize it like this. God damn it. These bastards. These bastards. Oh, for fucking real. Why would they take this away? Oh, there it is. No, they didn't take it away. I'm just an idiot. Okay, there we go. All right, should be a little bit more visual now. I can go back to the prior one as well, just in case you didn't catch that, because, well, let me just go back to the setup that we're looking at right here. It's slightly different. But yeah, just making sure that, you know, all is visible, and going through the performance summary, a little bit more difficult, obviously, but there's your... you can't even see them because they're at the bottom of the page, so my fucking face is covering up. Oh well. All right. Well, we can move on to the 2-day time frame. So I'll go back to this chart over here, bring it up, nice and fresh, and here we can get into it with the performance summary. So what I want to be looking at, if I can, should I just remove my face? I should just remove my face. Just get rid of it. All right. Sweet. What we can look at right here is we can look at the average amount of bars in winning trades, 22. The average amount of bars in losing trades, 115. What the fuck, man? What the fuck is that? Should probably just have a max loss condition on this one. We can actually see that the average winning trade and average losing trade, humongous actually on this particular setup at 30% or so, give or take. So in this case, if it were to play somewhere around there, what would that look like? I mean, putting 30% on top of current price action puts Bitcoin past 35,000 bucks. I mean, this is gonna seem just kind of like, this seems too much to me. 38,000 bucks. That's got to be like an ETF getting approved or something like that. That would be my guess if something like that plays out within 20 bars. So every bar is 2 days, so 20 bars would be 40 days. 40 days, about a month and a half from now. So that would put us into where? About middle to slash end of September. So it would be quite some time still. And to the downside, you don't even want to know. It's back down to 20,000 bucks if that happens, which would be pretty nasty, or somewhere down to low 20,000 bucks. Personally speaking, I'd say that this one fails really realistically below 27,000 or you know, even below 28,500. I mean, I just don't see that happening after that. Now I do want to go through some of the prior examples of this. We can see that the last 1-2 setups here were actually were winners. Certainly not 30% moves though. I'll actually go over this a little bit more in depth. This one over here about 15%. This one over here open and close very quickly for another 15% gainer. So it doesn't look like much on the chart, but it is nice. This one over here looks like a very small loss. I actually do want to see what it was. Loss of about 6%. So I imagine that a lot of these bigger numbers are skewed towards the earlier results, which of course were much bigger numbers, I suspect. And then before that, there was 3 losses in a row right here. So it hit this one. How much down was it right here? That was about 23%. Okay, so that's actually within the context of the data, so fair enough. This one over here, another failure. Let's see what it did. 35%, yeah, very much within the context of the data. And this one over here to the upside, just out of curiosity, about 20% to the upside. Not bad. So fair enough. You know, something that we'll be watching would imply, you know, alongside the 12-hour time frame, that, you know, upside over the next month and a half, or basically into like late September, more likely than downside. I would still be personally having a major area of interest below about 28,500 below there. I just don't see bullish setups working out for a while. You know, I'd really be looking for Bitcoin to revisit back down somewhere closer to 25. If that were to happen. But for right now, you know, those things are within the cards, and in the short term, very intent eye on that 29,500-ish region. As long as Bitcoin's above, generally good. As if Bitcoin falls below, generally bad for the for the boo laws, of course, here. Anyways, I think that's a good place for me to be leaving off on this particular video. If you're interested in the in the scripts over here, you can check out the Krown Quant automation in the on the Krown Chain application over here. Obviously, that is your shill of the day. It's actually not these exact scripts that I'm giving off right here. It is a more streamlined script, which actually allows for more customization and whatnot. But these ones are basically streamlined towards very specific strategies that I have, which you can actually just repeat in the ones offered over here. Anyways, yeah, good place for me to be leaving off. As always, wish you the best of the best. Take care. Much love, and see you hopefully Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Take care.